Okay, so here we are. Welcome back. All right, now we're going to do the squirrel jump walkthrough. We've already done the planning, and if you haven't seen it, go back to my last video and you'll see it. But here we go. Here's the squirrel jump walkthrough. Let's get going. All right, so here we are in Maya. All right, so let me pull open the reference video that we had so that we have an idea of what we're doing, right? So we're going to have the squirrel jump in to screen, do a bounce, and we're either going to do 2 bounces or 3 bounces. I'm not sure. I'm thinking we're going to do 3, but it might be a little, repetitive. Just to change it up, I might just do 2. All right. Here we are. We got that. I'm going to move this off screen so I'm not looking at that. All right. The next thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that everything is in the camera view that we're going to use. Here is the camera view we're going to use. Is the Anim camera. To get to that, if you have this file, you just go to the panel view under perspective and click Anim camera. That's in there. And you know that it's actually in the right spot because you can't move the camera around. Right, so just hit the space bar, go out of that, go to the side view. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to set our character up so that we're going to set up a custom button. So it's like this. I have this button already made. And what that does is it allows me to select this control and this control. These are the 2 controls that we're going to use to animate the squirrel for 99% of the animations. The mouth and ears, I don't set quit selection buttons up here for that. I just go in and select what I need. All right, to create this button, you want to have the script editor open. And you want to click on one of the controls that you're going to use. And the only reason you do this is so you can get a clear, you see this right here where it says select clear, -CL underscore, right? That's what that means. It means clear selection. You want to have that in there first, right? So we're going to clear that off. And we're going to click that controller again and then shift click the hip control. And that gives us these 3 lines. It gives us select -CL, which is clear selection, and then select squirrel spine IK shoulder controls, and then squirrel spine IK hip controls. Right? So we have those selected. Now we got to create the button. And to create the button, you select all 3 lines. Just select and highlight all 3 lines like that. And then middle mouse drag, you click and then middle mouse drag those lines up here to where you this like jagged line up there, top right hand corner. Right? This window pops up. You want to save it as a mail script. Okay. You can close the script editor. To check to see if this button actually works, select anywhere in your scene. To deselect anything, and then select the actual button we created. And both of them, if you go to move, right, both of them will move. Right? So that lets you know that those are all selected where you want them. Or whenever you want to select something and animate, you just click that button and then you're able to move, whatever you want, and you can hit S to set your key. All right, so let's get started. So on my first frame, I know that I want to be out of the scene. I'm going to make sure I have that button selected. Now, if you notice up here, I have a lot of different buttons, right? And some of them have names and some of them don't. So we don't get confused. Let's name this button. So I'm going to right click on the button and I'm going to go to edit. I'm going to go under the shelves tab right here. And then down here, right here, this line right here, you got icon label. I'm going to name this squirrel, or use the abbreviation SQRL underscore C RTL control. Actually, it would be CTRL, huh? Control. And then I'm just going to hit enter. And if you look up here, it named it. I'm going to hit save all shelves. And there we go. So now anytime I want to select those two controls, I just come up here and I hit that button and they're selected. Okay. So let's get started. All right. So the first frame, the squirrel is going to be off scene. Okay. So I move it off scene, but one of the things I want to make sure is that the squirrel is not in the animation view as well, or the anim camera, right? So I wanted to make sure that it was off camera there. Okay. Now that it's off camera, right, I'm going to hit S so that it's there. Okay. Got a keyframe there. And then the next keyframe is going to be on frame 6. Squirrel going to be down here. Go back to my side view. And I'm going to nudge it with the Alt button. Make sure that I'm not going into the geometry. Right? I'm going to hit the S key real quick, and then I'm going to move the top, because the top needs to be a bit adjusted like that. Rotate his head towards where it's coming from. Something like that. Go. Too far. There we go. And then let's see. See how that looks. Okay. Fixed inside the graph editor. Okay, then 2 frames over, I'm going to have both, set a keyframe on both of them on frame 28 or on frame 8. Then I'm going to move the squirrel head. Oh, like that. So it goes blink. Right. And then 2 frames over again, the squirrel is going to be leaving the ground. Make sure I grab both of them. When I say grab both of them, I mean this button up here to grab both the controls so I can set a keyframe. So that the butt's not moving it. Right? So here, I actually rotate his bottom. Go. don't want to rotate both. I didn't do that before. Did. So I'm going to undo that. Just grab the bottom. Go. Blink. All right. So leaving the ground. 1, 2, 3. Grab both of them. Sure, he's rotated normal. Okay. Together. Make sure that you don't have any of these channels selected whenever you do that, because what will happen is the keyframe will only hit the channel that you have selected. So you want to make sure that you're controlling your selections. Okay, then 3 frames down, on the ground again, but his head will still be up here somewhere because there is a delay, right? Go, then 2 frames. Straight. Grab both of them. Make sure you have a keyframe on both of them. Gonna, yeah, that's rotated. There we go. Go. Okay. Let's see. Right. Gonna bounce one more time, and then he's gonna get all excited. So 2 more frames. Both of them hit S. If you notice, I'm just moving the head for the beginning of the jump because the feet are staying put. Now, if you notice these things are going through the ground and stuff like that, I'm going to fix that in the graph editor in a little bit. Gonna jump. Let's see. So that's 2 frames. 3 frames up. Make sure I have both of them selected. S. 3 frames down. Sure both selected and hit S. All right. So this one right here to be up higher. He's moving pretty far. And I might even bring him back a little bit on this one. Oh, yeah. Back so to there we go. And double check, hit S. Okay, and then on frame 28, it's going to come down, kind of recover a little bit down. And 30, he's going to come back up. Crap. S. 33, he's going to actually settle into his normal pose. That. Then what I like to do is I like to use, at this point, I like to use the greater than and less than symbols, or the comma and period keys. And I go through and I make sure I put a keyframe on both controls on every frame that has a keyframe, just to clean them up, make sure that they're all getting keyframes. Okay. This is where the character is going to come up. See, like right there, that right there. I need to fix that. All right, so this is where the character is going to notice the acorn over here. So I'm going to grab the bottom control, and I'm going to make sure that the bottom control is going to stay put for all the way until frame 40, right? Which is going to give me time that I can go, I can anticipate down 2 frames, back a little bit, and shoot forward. And he's going to hold it to frame 40. I'm also going to move the bottom over to frame, not move it over, but I'm going to add another spot where it sits there. I'm going to say to 46 so that it doesn't move. So it's going to sit there. Top control is going to sit there for 3 frames. Then on 46, it's going to come down. And anticipate. Then I'm going to hold this anticipation for 4 frames. Okay, and then 2 frames later, he's going to explode up. Sure, I put a keyframe on the top and the bottom. So he goes boom, right? Then let's see, 1, 2, 5, 6 frames. That's where he's going to be center of his apex of his jump. And don't worry, we're going to put a keyframe in right here. And then, see, that was 6 frames, so 6 frames again. He's going to down at the bottom. Going to rotate bottom down a little bit, and also rotate his head up. Go. Sure, I grab both those, hit S. So coming across. Okay, so 2, 3. I want to do a trajectory of this arc. I want this arc to look nice. So I'm going to go into my animations tab real quick. I'm going to grab both controls, hit the W key, grab both controls. Then I'm going to come over here and hit the trajectory. Right? And this will allow me to adjust this trajectory in the middle of adding my keyframe. So I know I want him to come up like good arc. Right? Same thing here. this. Yeah, right? Yeah. Okay. Then to get rid of this, because I don't want to confuse me, I'm just going to highlight both of them in the outliner and then hit the delete key and delete them. And that's just a way that you can add your preliminary, sorry, I couldn't say that right, the preliminary arc, right? Without having to like draw out a line or anything. But it gives you a good idea where to start. Okay. So he comes over and he's going to recover, going to take away his rotation, but we got to move him forward a little bit. That guy's gonna come down like this. It's gonna rotate, come down, because he's gonna do kind of like a bounce here. Boom. Don't know why that looks more like a stepped animation. Let me look. Quick animation editor, graph editor. No, it's just a awkward. It's just an awkward rotation. Yeah, it's too quick. A little better. I might take that rotation out, but for right now, I might have it where it's rotated here. That's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. Same thing with this one over here. No, I don't want it. Spare key right there. There we go. There we go. That looks better. All right. Boing, boing. Acorn. Yummy. All right. So then he comes over here, and then now, bottom one is going to sit there, and then one. They come up. Wow, that's so weird. It keeps popping like. I must have another keyframe somewhere. I'll have to fix that. That in a minute. All right. So then 2, 3. Both of them are going to go up. 2, 3. Come. Both of them are going to come down. Make sure I go back to my custom. So I can pick it. There. Nudge it down a little bit. Guy right here is going to be back here like that. He's going to rotate his head. key real quick. Oh, look, it's in the right spot. That wasn't. Go. There we go. That's better. Doesn't look so abrupt. It's also his Y translation is goes down too far right here. Still trying to figure out why. Let's see. Okay, that's his head. Look at this one. Yep, that's what's messing me up right there. F. Gonna flatten that out. There we go. Yep, there we go. Okay. Then I can do all the other stuff to clean up later. All right, so boing. All right, so he bounces. And then he's gonna recover. 2, 3. This recovery is gonna take a little longer than his normal 2-frame recovery because he's actually catching himself a little bit. Should I grab both of them? Two. It's going to comes up, down just a little bit more. Comes back. Still kind of rotated, but his back. That. Just gonna. It's gonna rotate to normal. There we go. Boing. Yeah. He's gonna do. Let's see. Just like both of them. Right. It's gonna sit there for a second and move over 3 frames. Frame both of them. Top control. Squish down just a little bit. And come up. Jump. Both of them. So you can actually. Oh, there we go, like that. So he's just gonna jump up and kind of do like a little bounce thing right there, like yay. And then he's gonna go down one more time. that far. There. Make sure I grab both of them. Hit S so that they're both keyed. Going to come up. I'm going to hit S on both of them, and then I'm going to grab up this. On 15, he's going to settle down. Right here like this. It's a little bit of a go. That. And that's the animation idea. Right? So I'm going to make sure I go to both my controls. And I'm going to hit S on those last ones. I'm going to set keys on all the frames that needs keys. Like these bottom ones need to be fixed. It's not right. Yeah. See. See. So this one, back to my graph editor. How to fix that? Go to the translate. And we fix that one right there. Flatten that one out. Okay. Let's go ahead and flatten out that one because you don't want it going to the ground. So this one, delete. This one we're going to delete. Okay. This one I'm going to move down there. So here, 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 here. I'm not going to make high. There we are. So stretching up. But here, don't want them to anticipate the ground. See something quick. Fix this. Click that one. This one frame. But I do want it ground first. This one over. Backward that. This one, I gotta fix the timing on this one. Okay, so this one I'm going to delete. This one I'm going to level out so it's constant. That. Actually want this to act like a bounce. Good. Oh. This one I want it to kind of act like a bounce, but not as bouncy. Go and get that high up. Rotation Y actually start having rotate. There we go. All right, so let's take a look, see how this is. go into my random view, go take off my air controls so I don't see anything. Beginning and hit play. Oh, there we go. Looks great. And that's pretty much the rundown, the walkthrough of the animation. Now you just need to go in with the controls selected, right? And you just need to clean up all the translations, right? So all these right here. Make it easier on yourself. Just flatten out all these ones where it goes down, up, flatten. That's so that the squirrel's bottom doesn't go through the ground, right? So look at it. See right here, it's doing it. So frame 27, 28 time frame wise. Yep, this right here. So I would bring this guy up. Should have never actually been any other. So if it's like this and you want to get that same key right there, come over here, highlight this right here, hit Command C, then highlight the key you want it to be on, hit Command V, and it snaps it to it. Right, so now when you go to watch it, it's not going to go through the ground, see? Ooh. Right, there you go. And then you would do your normal play blast, right? Name the squirrel whatever you want it, browse wherever you want to put it. Make sure you're at a QuickTime H.264 if you want to post it places, and hit play blast. And it'll come up. And that's pretty much the walkthrough. If you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comments below, and I will address them as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. I hope this was informative and you got a lot out of it. All right, so that was the Squirrel Jump walkthrough video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment down below. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. If you have any other thoughts, just let me know. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.